Namaste. My name is Bhushavali and I'm here in France in Somme region, and I'm on a pilgrimage to see the graves of the Indian soldiers of World War I in Somme region in France. You might have already seen my video on the graves of the Indian soldiers who died in Belgium. That happened in Ypres. That was the Battle of Ypres. That was the very first point in which Indians were dropped in Europe during the First World War. During the Battle of Ypres, the soldiers were Indians and they were on the front line. There were the infantry, there were the foot soldiers. And after the Battle of Ypres, the infantries were moved and the cavalry regiments, the horseback soldiers were stationed in various places in France. The Battle of Somme was one of the bloodiest battles in human history. There were so many casualties, but it was in the front line of the infantry soldiers, and most of the infantry soldiers were Britishers, which was not Indians. I am not sure if the Britishers were from Britain itself or from the other colonies or Australia or Canada. I am not aware of that, but it was not Indians. Just behind the infantry soldiers, these cavalry soldiers were stationed as a reserve. The infantry line was never crossed, it was never broken through by the Germans, and they never got to the cavalry, the Indian cavalry section. During the Battle of Somme, the Indian casualties among the soldiers were much lesser, but among the laborers, it was much higher. The Belgian border is located to the south of Ypres. Below that, France starts. The top of the France is the Pas-de-Calais region, and then further down south is the Somme region. This entire part is in the Hauts-de-France, that's the North France region. We are in La Chapelette cemetery right now. So the whole cemetery is in like two sections, British soldiers, and this entire section has 315 graves of Indian soldiers. 315. Indian memorial close to Menin Gate in Ypres is the memorial for the 9,000 soldiers who lost their lives in Belgium and France. So of the 9,000, about 300 commemorated in Belgium or have their grave in Belgium. The rest 8,000 plus are in France, and a major portion of it are in the Somme region, and a section of it is in the Marseille region, in the Mazargues, and also in the Pas-de-Calais region. Let's see if I will be able to go to these places, but right now I am in the Somme region, and this is one of the biggest cemeteries for the Indian soldiers in the Somme region. We have 350 graves here. Most of these 315 are not soldiers, but they are laborers. When I say laborers, they are the Indian Labor Corps. Let me read a small bit from the book Asia in Flanders Fields by Dr. Dominique Dendouven, and here's how it goes. This is the letter from Kala Khan, who writes from Patiala, who writes back home to his brother. The earth is white, the sky is white, the trees are white, the stones are white, the mud is white, the water is white. One spits, freezes into solid white lump. The water is hard as stone or bricks. The water in the rivers and canals around the roads is like a thick glass plate. As you can imagine, he is talking about snow. From the Indian weather, even if you take Kashmir weather, we did not probably have many soldiers from the Kashmir region, but from the south of Kashmir, it is never that cold. Here, in the winter of 1916-1917, it was minus 20 degrees and it was snow everywhere. It was so cold, so bad that the soldiers could not withstand it. The labor corps, there were 48,000 Indians who were employed in the Indian Labor Corps, who were brought to Europe as a part of the Indian Labor Corps. Especially when you talk about the northeastern part of India, Orissa, Bihar and Assam regions. These laborers who came here were majorly from the tribal communities. They were so far deep inside the tribal communities, they were brought in for unskilled or semi-skilled work. They were doing everything from railroad works, to repairing the roads, to making bricks, to working in quarries, and even some of them even made mattresses out of self-made looms. These were the labors done by the laborers brought in from India to the Somme region. 48,000 laborers were brought in, and of course this is a war region. Not everybody was in a safe zone. Many of them were in the front line. In fact, right now the place where we are standing, it was the front line of the Battle of Somme, and very many people died here, and almost all of the 315 graves here were actually the laborers and not the soldiers. Though I would very much like, I really cannot go down to each and every grave here, because it would take a lot of time, and I would like to see the other cemeteries as well. So just one bow for everybody. You may have already seen the headstones of the Hindu, Muslim and Sikh soldiers in my earlier video. This is the headstone of the Indian Christian laborers, because it was on this time when the Indian administration called for the people to join the Indian Labour Corps. The Indian missionaries got the people to enroll in the Indian Labour Corps, and that's why you see the Indian Christians also in the Indian Labour Corps. This is Bijla and this is Bijay Bahadur, and you can see the cross. Another type of headstone I found here was the Buddhist headstones. On it was written Anichavata Shankara. This is a Buddhist phrase in Pali language, but it is written in Sri Lankan Sinhalese script, and they also have an image of a Burmese temple on it. The headstones of the tribal community, people whose religion is their own tribal gods, do not have a religion mentioned on it, but the name of the tribe is mentioned. We are in Amiens in a St.Pierre cemetery, and this is the grave of it reads Om Bhagavate Namaga. The following Hindu soldier of Indian Army is honored here. Driver Bharu, Royal Field Artillery, and he died on 28th May 1918, and he was with the Royal Artillery Depot in Jabalpur. And he was the son of Manghi of Khudhana, Saharanpur of UP in India. We are in Daours. Daours Communal Cemetery extension, and there are 8 graves of Indian soldiers here. They are completely at the end of the cemetery in a separate section. So the first we have Om Bhagavate Namaha. The following Hindu soldier of the Indian Army is honored here. Arjan Singh. He was a Dafadar with the 20th Deccan Horse. Then Jahangir Khan. He was a Dafadar with the 20th Deccan Horse as well. Then we have the father as well, Syed Mir, 20th Deccan Horse, and Om Bhagavate Namaha, Nanda Singh. He was a Sowar with the 20th Deccan Horse. Then Ram Sarup, he was a Dafadar with the 20th Deccan Horse. Ali Akbar Khan, he was a Sowar with the 9th Hudson's Horse. Narayan Singh, he was a Sowar with the Lancers Indian Army. And Ghulam Mohiuddin, who was a bearer with the Army Bearer Corps. Most of them from the 33rd Queen Victoria's own light cavalry. We don't have any more information about any of them.
I can tell by their unit on the date of death. They were all wounded in that cavalry charge. That was at High Wood, which is a place in the Somme, on the 14th of July 1916. That unit led a cavalry charge.
Okay.
They're all wounded in that, and then transferred to the hospital.
To the hospitals here.
Died. So you see, they're buried by date of death. He died the day after the battle. He died 2 days.
2 days after the battle. 2-3 days. And that is July, August.
They're buried by date of death.
We are in Corbie Communal Cemetery. Here are 4 graves of Indian soldiers. This is Meher Khan. So it's Haval Ghafoor is Sowar Meher Khan, and he was with the 28th Light Cavalry of Indian Army. Sowar Meher Khan, and he was the husband of Meher Bhari of Vehenar village in Atok. I'm not sure where this is right now. I'm thinking it's somewhere near Pakistan. I assume that. Let's find out. And here is Haval Ghafoor. So Saidan Shah, he was with the 17th Cavalry of Indian Army. He was with the he was the son of Kator Shah in Donorzai village. Here's the grave of Vahir Garuji Ke Fateh. The following Sikh soldier of the Indian Army is honored here. He is Sowar Nand Singh of the 29th Lancers. Sowar Nand Singh, he was from the Barodi village in Ambala district. And here is Haval Ghafoor, Lance the father Lal Khan. He was with the 27th Light Cavalry of Indian Army, and he was the son of Niyaz Bibi of Mohar village in Pindadan, Jhelum district. We are in Bray Military Cemetery, and there are 12 graves of Indian soldiers. Most of them are from Bihar. 3 of them are from the King George's own Lancers Regiment. One is from the Royal Artillery Regiment. The rest all are from the Indian Labour Corps. So here is the grave of says Om Bhagavate Namaha, and he is the following Hindu soldier of the Indian Army is honored here. This is Labourer Chura from the Indian Labour Corps. Chura is the son of Mula. He is from Shahjahanpur in UP. This says Om Bhagavate Namaha, the following Hindu soldier of the Indian Army is honored here. This is a labourer as well. He is Kashiram from the Indian Labour Corps. And Kashiram is, there's no other information about Kashiram. This is the grave of Lal Din. It says Haval Gafur. He was driver. Lal Din from the Royal Artillery. Then he is from the Belgium Ammunition Regiment, and he is from Punjab. He is from Mirpur, Gujarat, Punjab, India. And here is says Haval Gafur. He is Dafadar Muhammad Khan from King George's own Lancers. He is from Shahpur. He is the father of Sultan Khan, and he is from Shahpur, Punjab, India. There's a grave of an unknown Indian soldier. It says unknown Indian soldier of the Great War. This is the grave. It says Om Bhagavate Namaha, following Hindu soldier of the Indian Army, labourer Karam Santal. Karam Santal. He is from Durgapur, Rajmahal, Bihar, India. This says Om Bhagavate Namaha, following Hindu soldier of Indian Army is honored here. He is labourer Maisa Paharia. Maisa Paharia, the son of Chola Asnu Paharia of Patra Pahar, Dajapur, Rajmahal, Bihar, India. Next is Om Bhagavate Namaha, the following Hindu soldier of the Indian Army is honored here. He is labourer Matla Hemron. He is from Thalbeti, Patna, Rajmahal, Bihar. Haval Gafur Sowar Bhutta Khan. He is from the 18th King George on Lancers Regiment. This is Bhutta Khan. He is the husband of Raj Bibi of Kotli, Jhelum, Punjab. Jhelum, Punjab. Here are 2 graves. Is Om Bhagavate Namaha, the following Hindu soldier of Indian Army is honored here. This is labourer Surja Paharia. Labourer Surja Paharia. There was the labourer Maisa Paharia, and this is labourer Surja Paharia. Let me see. Maisa Paharia. But yes, they are not from the same family. They are not the sons of the same father, at least. They are not from the same family. He is from Gunna Pahar, a different Pahar. That Maisa Paharia from Patra Pahar. He is from Gunna Pahar, Dhingapur, Rajmahal, Bihar, India. And this is the grave of labourer Chobhelal. Labourer Chobhelal is from Ghagri, Dharampur, Rajmahal, Bihar, India. Here are 2 graves of unknown Indian soldier of the Great War. Unknown Indian soldier of the Great War. This, both are labourers. Om Bhagavate Namaha, the following Hindu soldier of the Indian Army is honored here. This is the grave of labourer Hiralal. Hiralal, Indian Labour Corps. Laborer Raghu Singh. So Hiralal is from Faizabad, UP, Bahimpur, Diorni, Faizabad, UP, and Raghu Singh is from Maheshpur, Bareilly, UP. From Bareilly, UP. We are in a Bronfay Farm Military Cemetery. Vaheguru Ji ke fateh sanskare gaye. This sixth soldier of the Indian Army is honored here. He is Sowa Sher Singh of the King George's own Lancers, 18th King George's own Lancers, and he is the husband of Sant Kaur from Narangwal, Ludhiana. Ludhiana is in Punjab. It says Vaheguru Ji ke fateh sanskare gaye. The following six soldiers of the Indian Army is honored here. So are Naranjan Singh of the Central India Horse Regiment. Central India Horse, he is Naranjan Singh. He is King George's own Central India Horse Regiment, 38th King George's own Central India Horse Regiment, and that is all we know about him. While we talk about this is Bronfay Farm Military Cemetery. Right in front of us, just opposite to the cemetery, is the Bronfay Farm. This functioned as the military hospital when the war was going on, and people who died in the hospital were pretty much buried here. And it is very much possible that Niranjan Singh and Sher Singh died in the hospital from the war wounds. We are at the London Cemetery and Extension in Longueval. This is the grave of Ganesh Singh. He was a Jamedar in the screen, the horse, attached 36th Jacob's horse. And he was the son of Hakim Singh from Gurdaspur, Punjab, India. Ganesh Singh. This is the grave of E.A.D. Kamal. It's written Haval Ghafoor. Driver E.A.D. Kamal, Royal Artillery. And Kamal was, I have no other information about Kamal. This is Kamal. It is so foggy here. I cannot see at all, and I can imagine how it would have been to just be shocked when like 100 soldiers come through the fog looking at you face to face. It would have been bloody scary. That's the fog here. You don't see anything. You don't see anything. Do you see how foggy it is? I'll show you. This is how it is today. Would have been much, 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 much worse when the wars were happening. I see a building now. The building is just 100 meters in front of me. I can now finally see the building. There is no visibility. Look at this, there is no visibility. The weather right now is 2 degrees and it says feels like minus 2 degrees. My hands are freezing. And in the winter of 1916, 1917, the weather was minus 20 degrees. It was snowing. I am an educated woman. And with the help of Google Maps and Google satellites, I know the weather, I know what is happening. I know to dress up for the weather. Minus 20 degrees. And these laborers were just dropped here, so far away from home. You know, if I feel cold, I can just I can do a video call to my mom in India. I can call my best friend in India. I can talk to her the very next moment. These soldiers, so far away from home, they cannot call. They have to write a letter. And that will reach home after so many weeks.